because of its underground drainage that is not that does not have that capacity to contain the water coming from Polu. So I assume that, or I observed that as a youth president, that the particular drainage have been blocked, the underground drainage. So now the water does not.
What's blocked the drainage underground?
It is based on because of dirt they throw during.
Who throws the dirt?
Which we don't know. What we do is that Nkpolu people try to carry out sanitation.
Pause. I like the fact that you raised this, because I've been to that place, that junction at night. It was a particular night I was coming back, and we stopped at that junction at some shops that there to buy something. I saw the gutter in front of, and how blocked and dirty all of them were. And nobody had thought it wise to do anything about it. Doesn't the community enforce this? I always tell this story. I served in Umuahia North, and for any reason, I will give it up to them at the time. This was in 2013, thereabout. You have people who took it upon themselves. If your shop, in front of your shop, the gutter is dirty or blocked, or they find even one biscuit wrap inside, you'll be arrested. Apologies for that. You'll be arrested for it. There was a task force that did that. So everybody made sure that the drainage in your front, the gutter in your front is clean. That doesn't seem to be the case at that Nkpolu junction. Now, you have rightly said that you observed that the underground drainage is blocked, which means people throw things and dirt and waste and all of that. And we know how busy that junction is. The park is on one side, we have shops on the other side, and the rest of them. How effective is sanitation you said that you carry out? Every Thursday, yes?
It's just like 2 weeks ago, I carried out a massive sanitation. And as I'm talking to you, I believe that if cleaning of the drainage is the only opinion to solve Nkpolu waterways, at least that sanitation would have helped.
For one day?
Yes. I started, a sanitation I did was 2 weeks ago on Thursday. A massive sanitation that the people working it, they made sure that the gutter was dig to the depth that.
Which of the gutters?
The drainage of Nkpolu gutter. That means the drainage in Nkpolu road. The gutters now, they were dug to the depth. So all the sand were removed. But to no avail.
Where does the gutter link to? Where does it flow to? And then, because if what you're saying now, we have a commercial comment, so we'll continue on this line, line of thought. Because what you're saying now is, if we go to Nkpolu Junction now, and we look at those gutters where we have all those shops and everything, we would not see dirt or any of those things inside. That's what you're saying now. Okay. That's what you're saying. I'm asking. Okay. Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying.
All right.
What I'm saying. Excuse me. What I'm saying is that if it is sanitation that will reduce the flood in Nkpolu people carry that sanitation massively. But the problem is that the federal government road that they fused did not provide an adequate channel.
Let's take the commercial.
Will be channeled to.
Let's take a commercial. We'll come back to this. Stay on the line. Nigeria Info. Live in the studio at the moment is Chamberlain Owhonda, youth president of Nkpolu-Rumuigbo, Obio local government area. I told you that I'll be speaking with two gentlemen with regards to this issue. The other is Dugo. Pelini Obom is the member of the flood committee and spokesperson for ABOLGA. He'll be speaking with us via telephone as well. But before we get on to Mr. Pelini, I'd like to have Owhonda clarify for us. We were discussing about how effective is the sanitation you're doing and the clearing of the drainages. I was telling you about what I saw and what is obtainable in most parts of River State with regards to drainage maintenance. It's almost at zero. We have a lot of people who stores, front of shops. If you go to Mercyland Road, the same thing. You would see the front of the shop, like this sand, mud, filled with gutter. We know that we do not have enough infrastructure. Yes. So with the situation at Nkpolu, you say that you have a weekly sanitation that you carry out to ensure drainages are clean. Yeah,
not only on Nkpolu Road, even all the streets, because the channels of the gutter in the street is as in directly to the main Nkpolu gutter. So what we do is to make sure that we carry out sanitation both on the street and in the major road, Nkpolu Road. This sanitation is being carried out both indigene and non-indigene. So we try to enforce even the indigene. You know what it means to enforce indigene to work sanitation. So that is what we do, because the rate of flood is really affecting us. Not only the Nkpolu Junction. The moment it rains, you can't even enter your house aside from the Nkpolu Junction, because the flood will just cluster there, that the flow of water from gutters from Nkpolu down will be blocked. Then your own house, you cannot even access it. So because of that, we took it upon ourselves to carry out a massive sanitation that will pre-inform them before the day of the sanitation, and by grace of God, they come out massively. Not only that, we make sure that, because I observed that after working sanitation, some persons don't pack the dirt. So what we do is that after the sanitation, we'll take our normal local tank crier to announce to them that they should pack what they brought from the gutter, so it will not go back to the gutter, and which they normally do. And by special grace of God, the gutter is clean, and we have been trying our best to make sure that we keep it neat.
So then what exactly you were trying to explain to us? We know that, well, the East-West Road for the longest time has no drainages, no gutters on the side or anything. So if there was an underground canal that was designed by the NDDC to temporarily help the solution, we know that wasn't the original. We don't know if it was part of the original design for the road, but that was created for. How come then we still have the flood problem at that junction? Okay, thank you very much. I'm very happy for this question. The Nkpolu original waterways, from Nkpolu Junction across to the place called Chicken Hill, a eatery that they built. So when the water comes from Nkpolu to that underground pipe to Chicken Hill. From the Chicken Hill, the water will be going to Federal Government College. From Federal Government College to enter over canal that lead to Rumola. That is how it is. And when the Chicken Hill was not built, or maybe the land was still wasn't when they were not built, the water was passing through then. But because of the recent development, the people that owns the land sold it off, and they built a lot of buildings there that have blocked the original waterways. Now, when the problem started, that caused the federal government East-West Road to it caused damages to the federal government East-West Road. Then the federal government came in. When the federal government came in, what they did is that they tried to construct a kind of a drainage that links to Romawolo canal. But unknown to them, the volume of water that comes from Bolu cannot contain in that gutter, in that drainage that they did. So resulting to the flood. Resulting to the flood. And when it rains, the federal government roads and the Bolu roads get flooded that no car will be passed for more than 10 hours.
There's no flood, as in no car will pass, because the level of the volume of the water that comes from Bolu community cannot be able to pass the drainage that the federal government constructed. As a result of that, causing the flood there.
We know that NIMET had talked about flooding, although it did not talk about flash flooding. And we know that local government chairmen constituted flood committees. Now, these flood committees, did they have in their plan provisions for people that could be affected by flash floods?
Actually, I believe the local government, they know where the flash flood affects, and Nkpolu is not a hidden place. It is a place where it's an eyesore. The moment you're passing the East-West Road to Rumokoro, you see Nkpolu is an open community.
So has there been meetings or conversations with the local government chairman with regards to this situation at Nkpolu Junction and those who are affected by the flash floods when they come, whether or not the flood committee has plans or there are certain measures that should have been put in place for them?
Okay, thank you very much. In as much as I'm concerned, Bolu flood problem is always on air. I believe that the local government have security reports, so they know that the flood affects Bolu so much. So and which we have been on air several times. In fact, the former local government chairman Solomon was also aware of what happened at Bolu.
Right. Just hold that thought. Let's go to Owhonda. And the spokesperson to the council is with us via phone this morning. He's also a member of the ABOLGA Flood Committee. Mr. Pelini, thank you for staying on the line for us. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sure you would have heard my conversation with the guests here in the studio, and I'll throw the same thing to you. We recently are beginning to hear that with the recent rains, some communities in some parts of Owhonda, for instance, are going to experience an increase in water level leading to flooding parts of the communities. In Owhonda as well, reports are coming in about increase in water levels. What is the situation in Owhonda, which is also one of the local governments that many have concerns for, especially with the NIMET flood prediction? Is there anything to be worried about, and what plans are on ground with regards to the flood committee set up to tackle this problem?
Thank you, Jenny, for having me here in the studio. For now, we have put up a lot of measures to tackle the flood as predicted by NIMET. So far, so good. It has not come the level they have predicted. But as regards flash flooding, it usually affects almost every LGA because of rainfall. When the precipitation is high, some farmlands and residents will be flooded. I think that one is not the main focus of the committee. The committees are basically set to tackle the natural disaster that used to kill people, displace their farmland, and destroy humanity.
So you're saying, in other words, the flood committee did not put into consideration measures to help those that could be affected by flash floods, especially when it rains?
Our task is all encompassing. We have, as we speak, we have already noted some areas that usually, in Abodwa, we have noted some areas that usually got affected by flash flooding. And our responsibility is to advise our boss, the local government chairman, on what measures to do, what measures to take to tackle these things from the roots. Because you know that people have activities of human beings has blocked drainages, natural water channels and canals. So most of these things, some of these buildings are ought to be removed even. And some of the buildings and some other activities of humans that have blocked these areas ought to be removed. There should be a massive urban renewal program that will see to the demolition of certain structures that are blocking waterways and construction of other new canals that will channel the water appropriately. So we, as a committee, we have already submitted our report and we have advised our chairman on what to do, and he has also acknowledged it.
Okay. All right. Just stay on the line for us. Let's open the phone lines and take a few calls. We would have questions from the listener. I would also take a few messages here, so perhaps we'll get your responses to it. 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007. And the question I'm asking is whether you are actively involved in the cleaning of the gutters around your house or your business premises. I've mentioned a few places I've been to and what I have seen, and it is not too good how we handle these things, especially the gutters that we have very few of them. I don't think we have adequate drainage system in Rivers State. I think we have more gutters than we have a drainage system. But the gutters that we have, most of them are blocked or dirty, and you see them right in front of your shop or in front of your house, and almost nobody cares most of the time. So just move past and do whatever we do. Now, these things contribute to flash floods. Flash floods are quite different from the natural flood disaster. They're very different. Then the government's part in inadequate planning or improper planning or lack of planning completely, building on top of waterways. All of these are other issues that also linger and causes flash floods. And the failure of government to do proper construction work. Like the East-West Road we talk about, a road of that magnitude, no gutters on the side, not even to 1 kilometer. It's like, especially if you're coming from Choba down to Rumo, you would not see any gutter. But then there's a road and you're wondering, okay, the one that has underground drainage, we're hearing now that it was something that was a makeshift one that was designed because of that Nkpolu Junction situation that led to a lot of protest. Well, how active are you in with regards to cleaning the gutters in your area? Would like to also find out. 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0003. Andrew, good morning. This is not for me, yeah? Good morning, Andrew. And he says, Nkpolu Youth President is not telling the truth. The drainage is not the problem. The fast food is not also the problem, because the site that is always flooded in that area is okay. It's not the place where we have the fast food, which is also another thing. From what he has said, I also have thought about it. But let's go to Okonkwo first in Romokuta. We'll come back to it. Okonkwo, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
You hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
My question goes this way. In other dictionary countries all over the world, whenever they build drainages and canals, they will use drainage slabs to cover the drainages, and to use canal slabs to cover the slabs, to cover the canals, so that no one will be able to throw any bottle or any waterproof or anything inside the canal or inside the drainages. They use slabs to cover. My question is, why can't we do that? To avoid this struggling of bringing out debts from the gutters and from the canals. Cleaning the gutters, cleaning the canals. When the slabs are covered, nothing enters into the slabs and into the canals. And so my question is, why can't we do that in this country? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ida is in Nkoro. Ida, good morning. Okay, let's go to Christian. Christian, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome.
See, people that come from that Nkpolu, I want to ask them one question. Why are they waiting now? They're waiting very late. I'm a driver. That place has been disturbing more than 5, 6, 7 years. Even at the time, they closed that place. And the governor is building flyover ahead of that place. There is no complaint for the past government. Why are they complaining? Because some people have complained of flash flood. And they see it as if they want to, the neighbors want to, the citizens want to compare with flash flood people. And they're making noise. Now, why not make noise since last 4, 5 years? Thank you.
All right, Christian, thank you. We knew that protests were held on that road.
Yeah.
From the past administration.
Yeah.
Muriel in Okrika. Muriel, good morning.
Yeah, Ifemi, good morning.
Morning to you. Go on.
Ifemi, I don't know if you've entered into the Nkpolu community, the community itself.
Mm-hmm.
Ifemi, you will see that houses are so clustered. They are so close to each other. Even the internal roads are so small. Look at me. For development to come, good things to come to a community, sacrifices have to be made. Are there lands that they have sold that they were not supposed to sell, that are channels, waterway channels? Are there lands? Community leaders should come, and people need to make sacrifices. Families need to make sacrifices. Demolish some structures and make waterways, make way. Look, you can't just say chicken hill. You can't just look. This is an accumulation of so many issues that is resulting into this. So before the government comes, they themselves need to come together, all communities, demolish some structures, open the ways, open waterways. Let the places be open. That's my suggestion. They need to do something, not just sanitation. When things are clustered, they just dig one side. It cannot be. You're saying that at the end of the day, it's not bringing the solution. So houses that you have sold, land that you have sold, try to demolish them. Make way first. Then the government will come in.
All right, thank you very much. McDonald in Rukwaku, good morning.
Hello, PME, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, a quick one. I want to remind the government and the local government chairman in Rivers State that environmental sanitation in Rivers State is key in reducing, not eliminating, in reducing the flood problems that the River State is experiencing now and will continue to experience. I don't know practically why they had to do away with sanitations on Saturdays, that people at least come out once in a month to clean their environment, clean their gutter, bring out trashes to the approved dump site where they excavate or where they dispose these things. Because when these things are not properly disposed, waters carry them to the gutters and the block gutters, and the issue of people building on canals, community leaders collect money, give development levy, papers, and all the rest of them, and people build on these canals. And after these canals have been sold to people and the canals are blocked and water don't find its natural ways, and they're coming to complain, I don't practically buy the idea of people selling canals in the name of you're selling land, and then at the end of the day, you come back to the radio to come and complain. Please, on a very more serious note, the issue of environmental monthly sanitation should come back to River State so that we'll start keeping our environment clean.
Thank you very much. We're still taking more calls, but quickly, let's just get back to Pelini, who's on the line, so we can let him continue with his day. Pelini, I'd just like to ask you one question and get your response to it. It will be concerning the palliative distribution, because reports for flood victims, how well that was done and what methods were implemented in doing that, because the report says, well, it wasn't well carried out.
Thank you, Ifemi. The palliative for flood victims are meant for flood victims. Although I don't know when somebody will put up a report that it was not well distributed. I think that is not true and it's not correct. Because what happened is the last year, for instance, all the flood victims were brought to Abua Central, and sub-camps were opened in the Odwal and indeed the Werewere. We were able to transport those goods through boats to those people that are living in the villages. They collected their rice and sustained within the period. And thereafter, now what we have now, River State government, for instance, have done well. We have put up a lot of preparation waiting for this flood as predicted by NIMET. As we speak, if you go to ABOLGA, we have in our store there, we have food items and non-food items. Following the launch of the River State roadmap to the mitigation of the flood, which took place at Owhonda. They gave us food items and non-food items. We are waiting. Should in case the flood came as predicted by NIMET, we will use those ones to start the camps. By this time last year, the camps are already running. But now, it seems the story is different. So, the items they gave to us, they are still intact. So, that is the situation.
So what would happen to the items if we do not experience the flood in the manner that was predicted by NIMET? Especially the food items.
Because nothing you use it to. You can't return it back to the state government. You give it back to the people so that they will use it.
Okay.
So that's as simple as that.
All right. Thank you, Pelini, for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Chamberlain is still with us in the studio. I'll take a few messages on Facebook and then we'll get your concluding remarks. Aleru Spief says our citizens should stop dumping waste in drainages to avoid flash floods. I would advise the government to establish a task force on drainage cleaning. Mezi, Emmanuel, everyone should clean and clear their gutters within their neighborhood. That's on Facebook. Let's see if we can get more messages here. This one says, good morning. Please, flood has taken over houses since on the 4th of September this year. As Rumuigbo and Akpor, we need government or NDDC attention. They came constructed drainage, but the drainage is not taking enough water out. It worsened the situation. Destiny sent in this one from Rumuigbo and Eka. Francis Godfrey says, we experienced real sanitation in Port Harcourt when I was just a teenage boy. Today, the case is different. People don't care. On WhatsApp says, good morning. When the youth president saw that the drainage the contractors were doing was too small, what did they do? Because I know some of the youths from this community worked in that area. Ifa and Chiku Nwodo. As we attempt to wrap up, Chamberlain, you heard this last message. Was the community aware of the work that NDDC was doing with regards to the underground drainage before it was finished? And did it know that it was too small, or did it not have information about that?
Oh, thank you very much. By then, I believe I'm the chief of staff to the youth president then. We all went to that place because we are the people facing the challenges. At least we have the best advice regards to the flood. We went there, we told them openly that the level of what we are seeing, because it's an underground drainage that they did that leads to Romawolo, we told them that this drainage cannot be able to contain the volume of water that is coming from Nkpolu Junction. But
so why is it that the flooding is usually on this side of the road and not where you have the restaurant where which you say is majorly the reason for the flooding? Oh
God, thank you very much, bro. I told you that if you go to Nkpolu Junction, the original waterways of Nkpolu passes from Nkpolu. There is a underground pipe that crosses to that
where you have the restaurant.
As if you're going to as if you're going to Rumuigbo.
Yes.
That chicken hill there. But they have to block that particular pipe that linked to the place as regards to the building that they build there.
So that's why the water stays
on
this side.
So that's why the water cannot pass
does not go back.
It stays at Nkpolu. Now, when the federal government came because the cause of Nkpolu water flood have caused problem to the east-west road that place was nothing to write home about. Cars were not passing. So the federal government came trying to fix up that federal government road. You understand? So
in a nutshell, what you're saying is what the government did, or the work that the NDDC did at the time, was to safeguard the road and not to stop what goes to the community.
What causes the original cost of why the road was spoiled. They did not look into that. What they came to do is to see how they can fix up the federal government road by providing a small drainage that cannot contain enough water that is coming from Nkpolu.
All right, Chamberlain, we have to say thank you now.
Okay,
and,
then on my last take, what I'm pleading, because I'm pleading that the state government.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm pleading that the state government should come to our needs. Governor Simi should come to our need. We know that his predecessor, Honorable Barrister Yusuf Wike, we know that he did well, and we believe that Simi is boy should come to our aid.
Governor Siminalayi Fubara, that is the governor of Rivers State. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Hello, Port Harcourt is next.
He done of trading himself. James